I had lunch with a writer friend of mine today to talk about something that I had edited for him, and it brought up kind of an interesting topic that I want to talk with you about today. And that's simply the topic of having your work edited. That manuscript is our baby, isn't it? And it's really tough, I know, to have someone else look at it and say, this part isn't right, or you need to take this out. It's like almost like having part of you cut away. It's like an insult sometimes, perhaps, to you. But this is something where writers really need, this is an area where writers need to grow, to become a little more thick-skinned, because those edits are what help us grow as a better writer, to become better writers. We have to get a thick skin so that we can take those edits or critiques of our work and use them to make our work better. If you aren't sending your work to an editor at all because you're afraid of what they'll do, boy, oh boy, that's even worse. Do not let fear control what you're doing. A good editor is not going to strip away your voice. They should not be stripping away your voice. And always remember that as the author, you know specifically what you are wanting to say. You know the part that you need to leave in. But look at those edits that come back from an editor and really chew on them and consider them and think about them. Do they need to come out? Do they, does this need to be changed or does it need to stay the way it was? Now, yes, I'm an editor, but even I send my own work off to be professionally edited because I can't see the errors in my own work. I know that story in my head. I know what I've meant to say on the page that I think I have, but maybe I really haven't. And an editor is the one that's going to see that work. If not an editor, then a beta reader. If you are not having your work professionally edited, I want to challenge you in two arenas. First of all, the typical response is, I can't afford that. Let me ask you this. Do you find the money for those things that you really do want to buy? Ah, yes, almost always. When we want something bad enough, we find the money to pay for it. And that's where a professional edit needs to fit in your budget. You need to realize that this is something that I need for my manuscript to make it the best that it can be. The second challenge is if still you are not sending your work to a professional editor, then by all means, you need to join a critique group and get your work critiqued as you're writing it. And number two, either chapter by chapter or when you're all done with your manuscript, making it the best you know how to make it, send it to beta readers who will read through it and let you know, hey, I found these errors. A critique group will do the same thing. They'll let you know what's working and what isn't working. And this is so important because if we're just writing what we want and we're sending it out there into the world as is, it might be terrible. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I don't want to think about the fact that what I'm writing is terrible. But I want to send out into the world something that I can do to the best of my ability. And I know full well what this feels like. It's tough. I've sent my work to an editor and had two-thirds of what I sent get cut out. I understand how painful it can be. Learn from those. Sometimes you have to step back away and say, okay, wow, this cut me to the quick. And you have to step back away from it and deal with your emotions and work through it so that you can see that, hey, I can learn from this and learn and dig in and really learn from it. Make your work better. But don't send your work out there without having somebody else read it. It's so important to get feedback from what other readers, I mean, a beta reader basically can be a friend, a family member, someone that you know and trust who will give you honest feedback about your story. Don't send it to somebody knowing they're just going to come right back and say, hey, I really like this. It was pretty cool. Well, what good is that doing you? It's not doing you any good at all. You need to know what's working and what isn't working. So ask people, hey, here's what I'm doing. Would you be willing to read my manuscript when I'm all done and give me feedback on it? If they say no, then fine. Go to someone else. Ask another person. Keep asking until you find two, three, maybe four or five people who will read your book and give you feedback. Even with all of that, I still recommend that you get a professional edit. A line edit generally costs less than a developmental edit. So beta readers can most certainly give you the kind of feedback that you need that developmental edit would give you. Developmental edit talks about the big issues. And in fiction, those big issues are plot and character development, pacing and flow of the story. In nonfiction, it's flow, it's structure. Do do your topics makes sense from chapter to chapter? Are you hooking the reader with every chapter opening? And are your chapters closing in a way that your reader wants to quickly move on to the next chapter? Those are the big issues that a developmental edit looks at. Like I said, a developmental edit is more expensive. So let your beta readers, if at all possible, give you that kind of feedback. Anybody who is an avid reader is going to be able to tell you your characters are flat. There's, there's not enough conflict in your story. Your plot line, there's something missing from your plot line. With nonfiction, they're going to be able to tell you the same thing. It's like, I just don't understand what you're saying here. Why should I read this? What's in it for me? I'm not gleaning anything from your story that I can apply to my own life. That means your book is missing its takeaway. Avid readers can help you with those things. So I want to encourage you, if you're going to insist on not using a professional editor, then be getting assistance from other sources like critique groups and beta readers. Grow a thick skin. Learn how to take constructive criticism, look at it, determine if it's accurate or if it's just very subjective from one particular reader, or is every reader saying, the same thing? If you've got 5 beta readers and 3 of them are saying your characters are flat, then your characters are probably flat. If you've got 5 beta readers and only one person is saying your characters are flat, then that's probably very much subjective to that particular reader. Realize that it's a good thing to get critiques of your work, to get feedback from other writers. Don't be afraid to share your work. Don't be afraid to share your work. Get that feedback. grow as a writer, make your story better, and be assured that with a better story, you're going to have better sales.